A deal is a deal, as they say. The Lil Salmon Catch Show Google Drive archive is officially available. Link will be in the description below, just like that. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, well, there's a lot of videos that you're gonna need to catch up on. And I really cannot be bothered to explain the backstory behind this stupid thing for the millionth time, especially since this is very likely going to be the last video that I make on this topic for a long time, unless anything major comes out of it. Anything that I consider noteworthy enough to make a video on. I'm making this video announcing that the Lil Salmon Cat archive is officially available. I have finally created that Google Drive, and also I want to go over why it has taken me a long time for me to create it. Ideally, this is something that I should have done maybe a day or two after I made my previous video on the Lil Salmon Cat Show, where I go over, why I moved on from the search and how I was like, yeah, no, I should go back into it. Well, not go back into it, but, re-release everything that I found for it. It took time for me to create the Google Drive for a multitude of reasons, and I'm gonna go over those reasons right now. In the time between when I made my previous Lil Salmon Cat video and when I'm making this video and uploading it today, I became increasingly more anxious. I felt like there was this pressure on me to just release everything that I found for the show as fast as I possibly could to prevent any sort of backlash. In that previous video, I went over that whole thing with the infamous lost pilot of the Backyardigans, and apparently there was this whole controversy going on with it that there were people that were hoarding the pilot for the Backyardigans. The pilot was available, but there was a select few people that were keeping it all to themselves, and that spawned a huge backlash within the Lost Media community, and I just didn't feel like dealing with a similar thing with this stupid thing right here. And so I felt the pressure rising more and more to just release this thing and just, get it out of my hands. Blame It on Jorge, one of the biggest Lost Media YouTubers, recently made a video going over the history behind this Backyardigans pilot and the whole search for it, and all that did was just make me feel even more anxious and pressured, putting pressure onto myself over this non-existent backlash that I would face for keeping a terrible salmon cat cartoon all to myself, even if it's unintentionally. It took a while for me to create the Google Drive for a few reasons, and I'm gonna go over those reasons right now. Number one, before I started creating the Google Drive, I decided to do something that I didn't do when I previously archived the episodes for this show. I decided to go ahead and archive the Spanish dub of the show as well. I've mentioned this numerous times. The show is in English, obviously, but there is also a Spanish dub for the show. And as a matter of fact, there are a few episodes of the show that, as of making this video, are only available in Spanish. The English versions for them are completely lost. And so I thought to myself, you know what? It. Where's the harm in archiving the Spanish dub as well? Even if the episode's already available in English, I don't care. I might as well archive the Spanish version as well. And that took a lot of time for me to do. I had to manually go through all kinds of different YouTube uploads of the Spanish dub. I found there were 2 YouTube channels that had a lot of these Spanish dubbed episodes of the show. I'm not gonna say their names. They're both inactive channels, but I'm still not gonna say their names because, snitches get stitches and all that. And so one night I spent maybe 3 or so hours going through these channels, analyzing every single episode, archiving all of them, and it was the exact same thing that I was doing all the way back in 2023, except this time I was doing this for the Spanish dub of the show. I had to manually match the episodes to see what number episode is this, what's the name of the episode, that sort of thing. Compare the episodes that I downloaded to the English dub to see, are they matching or not. And then as if that wasn't enough, there's this weird thing with the Spanish episode uploads of the show on YouTube from both of these channels, where a large majority of these episodes, they would just end abruptly. This is not the case for any of the English episodes. They all are available in full. Well, I mean, all of the ones that I found at least. But a majority of the Spanish episodes, they start off normally and then they just end halfway through the episode. So just like that, there's even more lost media related to this godforsaken thing. Isn't that wonderful? And so I manually had to skim through all of the episodes, skipping to the very end of them to label them, or like, are they incomplete or are they fully complete? Unsurprisingly, a large majority of the Spanish dubbed episodes were incomplete, so, you know, that just added to the fun of it. I spent 3 hours one night trying to archive these episodes, and then I took a break, and then the next night I spent like, I think another 2 hours trying to archive it, and, you know, continuing on. It was a hassle. It really was a hassle. But you know what? I did it. I managed to archive what I believe to be every available episode of the Spanish dub of the Lil Sam and Cat Show. El Show de las Pequeñas Sam and Cat, if you will. So you had that. It took a while for me to archive all of the Spanish episodes. And then there's also the fact that I have been extremely busy the last couple of days in my personal life. I started school very recently, and so naturally that is going to take away time from like doing this whole thing, and also just making YouTube videos in general. I also might be getting a job very soon, if you can believe it. Yeah, I can't believe it, guys. I'm gonna be getting a job. I'm sorry for scaring y'all like that. I should have put a trigger warning. But yes, indeed, your boy is getting a job, and that's gonna take away even more time from making YouTube videos, and, you know, it would take away more time from working on this thing. And then on the topic of YouTube videos, I have a bunch of other YouTube videos in the works that videos that I'm working on, stuff that I find to be much more interesting than this whole Sam and Cat thing. I'm sorry, please don't take that the wrong way. I'm working on a massive video right now, and I hope the lost media community doesn't take this the wrong way, but I would rather prioritize this over the Lil Sam and Cat crap, honestly. I find it to be a much more interesting video, and I consider it generally to be a bigger priority for me. And then on a considerably more serious note, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but I have to undergo surgery very soon. It's gonna be fine, I promise y'all. It's not gonna be like anything really serious. It's gonna be fine. But there's just like a million things that have been on my mind, and so it's like I have to really like dedicate time to this whole like Sam and Cat thing, this whole like Sam and Cat archival thing. But eventually I was able to complete it. I was able to complete this whole Lil Sam and Cat archive. I upload all of the episodes that I previously found back in 2023. I upload all of the Spanish episodes that I found. And I also managed to find, you know, whatever few new things have been found ever since I abandoned the search. Apparently there's an entire episode of the show that has since been found, and so I made sure to archive that and put it into the Google Drive. Obviously, a link to the Google Drive will be in the description below. I highly recommend that you download it as soon as you can, because you never know if this thing gets taken down or not. Viacom, Paramount, whatever, they could become aware of this thing and they could take it down just like that. Download it, maybe create your own Google Drive for it if you want, create your own like copy, duplicate of it, I don't care, go ahead. If you want, you could upload all of this onto the Internet Archive. I would love to do that myself. I would love to upload all of this stuff onto the Internet Archive, but as I mentioned in the previous video, I am unable to. It's not that I don't want to, it's that I can't. I am unable to. Just download the Google Drive, create your own, or upload all of this stuff onto the Internet Archive if you want. So that way, if this thing gets taken down by Viacom or whatever, I don't have to worry about like creating a new Google Drive. And once again, this Lil Sam and Cat saga can be put to rest once again. Unless the whole show gets found, the few episodes of the show that are lost get found, but I doubt that, unfortunately. Anyways, that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to like, and if you're new to the channel, maybe consider subscribing, as it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and I will see y'all next time. Adios!